الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على النبي المصطفى سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Jews from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We discuss different topics from the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First of all, I would like to make a dua. Ya Allah, grant us ikhlas in whatever we do, that we do, Ya Allah, for your sake. That whatever we do, Ya Allah, we should do for your sake, Ya Allah. And my dear brothers and sisters, any amal, any deed that is done with ikhlas, it is accepted by Allah. And any deed that is done for the sake of fame and name is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Doesn't matter how much you do it. Sometimes, a person will come on the day of Qiyamah with so much deeds, lots of deeds, mountains and mountains of deeds, and he accepts to get the rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he will get zero. He will find zero, nothing, no reward at all. Why? Because that deed was not done for the sake of Allah. It was not done for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for ikhlas. And we have to see from the beginning if we are doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. So we can correct our intentions. Now, if we correct our intentions, then we will do inshallah for lillah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also sometimes while we are busy doing, shaitan comes and distracts us. Because so-and-so has appeared and has seen me doing whatever I was doing for Allah Ta'ala. So my nafs and shaitan start, playing tricks with me. So now I change the niyyah, start doing to show this person. Now we have to check our niyyah in the beginning of the action, in between, and also towards the end. Now, and if we find that we have done for the sake of fame, we must ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. We must make tawbah and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. So my dear brothers and sisters, our topic for tonight, inshallah, we speak about the virtues of the houses of Allah, the masajid. Now, building the masajid, looking and maintaining the masajid, the masjid. The masjid is it's a house of Allah. It's a place of worship. Sometimes we drive around with our families. We go outing, we see beautiful places, creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Beautiful mountains. We'll see beautiful buildings, beautiful gardens. Now, those are beautiful, yes, but they're not the best. They're not the best buildings, because the best building is the house of Allah, is the masjid, the house of worshipping, where people come and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ. Those who maintain the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the people with iman. Now, so the person who is linked to the masjid, that person has iman in his heart. Now, in the hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he speaks about the 7 categories of people who will be under the shade of the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. And one of them is وَرَجُلٌ قَلْبُهُ مَعَلَّقٌ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. The person whose heart, rajulun here means a man. That does not mean only a man, even a woman who supports the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Though she performs salah at home, but she spends her money in supporting the masjid, supporting the imams, the activities happening in the masjid, also will be counted or will be under the shade of the arsh of Allah on the day of Qiyamah, on the day in which there shall be no other shades beside the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam, wa rajulun qalbuhu ma'allaqun fil masajid. Allahu Akbar. So a masjid is a place of ibadah. It's a place where the Quran, tilawatul Quran is taking place. And also the teaching of the Quran is taking place. The teaching of the tafsir of the Quran is taking place. People are coming to make sujood. People are coming to make dhikr. No, nikah takes place in a masjid. So many activities are taking place in a masjid. So if you build a house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what will you gain from Allah? The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man bana lillahi masjidan, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil jannah." The person who builds a masjid for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith says, lillahi. Lillahi here, it implies ikhlas, sincerity. Now, it implies sincerity. The person builds the masjid for Allah, for the sake of Allah, for the pleasure of Allah, in order for people to come and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build for him a house in Jannah. Allahu Akbar. A house in Jannah. You come to Jannah and you find your house is ready. How much we struggle in this world to build, just to build a house. People will take loans to build a house. Will borrow money from this person, from that person to build a house. They will struggle saving money for years and years just to build a comfortable house. It takes time and effort. Allahu Akbar. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, whosoever builds a masjid, even if you did not build the entire masjid alone, you just contributed maybe with one bag of cement, or you supplied paint, you supplied some material, or you donated some money that was used in that masjid. Allahu Akbar. Bana Allahu lahu baytan fil Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build for him a house in Jannah. And the masjid is the best house on the surface of the earth. It is the best house on the surface of this earth, on the planet earth. It is the best house that you'll ever find. Allahu Akbar. So now, also building a masjid, it becomes a sadaqatun jariyah, continuous sadaqah. Now, while you are still alive, for as long as people are taking benefit of the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on showering His blessings upon you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on rewarding you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on sending His barakah, His mercy upon you. Why? Because the people are utilizing the house of Allah, which was built by you or is being supported by you. Allahu Akbar. In the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna mimma yalhaqu al-mu'mina min amalihi wa hasanatihi ba'da mawtihi, from good or from the thawab, from the rewards that a believer finds after his death, and he finds where? In his grave. The grave is very dark. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. The grave is very, very dark. Now, we have to do good deeds that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which will be the means for our grave to have nur. Now, one of these, means for us to have nur in our graves is to support a masjid. Is to support a masjid. Is to build a masjid. Allahu Akbar. There was a lady, an African lady in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who passed away, and this lady, she was the one who used to take care of the masjid. She used to clean, the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever there was anything on the floor, she would just pick up, So she used to take a good care of this masjid. She passed away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken her soul. So the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they decided to do what? Not to bother Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they buried her. They prepared her ghusl. They prepared her kafan, and they did the burial. They did the dafan. They buried her. But the mistake they made, it was that they did not inform Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, what was the mistake? They did not inform Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the reason being, they did not want to disturb him. So they buried this lady. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for a few days could not see this lady. So he started asking around, where is so and so? I don't see so and so. I don't see the lady who used to clean the masjid. They said, Ya Rasulullah, she passed away last night and we buried her. He became so much upset. He became so much angry. His face became pale and red. He asked the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Dulluni ala qabriha. Dulluni ala qabriha. Take me to her grave. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, they took Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to her grave, and when he came to her grave, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam performed salatul janaza, upon the body of this lady after she was buried, and he made dua for her. He made dua for her, and he said, these graves are full of darkness, Now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings nur through my salah, through my dua. Allahu Akbar. So we also, when we build a masjid or we support a masjid, that will be a means, inshallah, for our graves, inshallah, to have the nur. Imagine the muadhin in the masjid. What he does, he calls the adhan 5 times a day for the 5 daily salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He proclaims the oneness of Allah. He proclaims the greatness of Allah. He says Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And also in between the adhan, he says, Hayya ala salah. Come to salah. Come to salah. Come to prayer. Come to worship Allah. And he says, Hayya ala al-falah. Come to success. Allahu Akbar. Success lies in obeying the commands of Allah. Success lies in sujood. Success lies in ruku. Success lies in your salah. Hayya ala al-falah. Allahu Akbar. So the reward of that adhan, the blessings of that adhan, through the barakah of that adhan, Allah Ta'ala is going to reward you, is going to bless you, is going to shower His mercy upon you. We're taking a short break, inshallah. When we come back, we will carry on speaking about the virtues of building a masjid and supporting the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll see you after this, inshallah. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. We're discussing the virtues of looking after the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the masajid, the best places on earth, the best houses on earth, the best buildings on earth, the place where sujood takes place and what is, sajda. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه وهو ساجد. The person will be so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that posture of sujood, at that time when he is bowing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sincerely for Allah, with so much humbleness, with so much fear, with so much love that he has in his heart for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there you come and you maintain that house, you build that house. Dhikrullah will take place there. Hufaz will come out from those masajid which you are supporting, which you have built. Allahu Akbar. Now, ulama will come out, will graduate from those masajid which you have built and also which you are supporting. Allahu Akbar. There are so many virtues we can talk. So this hadith, carrying on with the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he speaks about, some goodness, the goods that, the reward that the person will get, after his death, in his grave, and also, in the hereafter, on the day of Qiyamah. Now, number 1 is ilman allamahu wa nasharahu. Ilman allamahu wa nasharahu. The knowledge that the person learned, he taught, and he spread it. Now, that masjid which you are supporting or you are going to support, which you have built, or you are going to build. Now, the knowledge of deen will be taught there. And those people who will be learning the knowledge of deen from that masjid are going to spread that knowledge. And after your death, wallahi, for as long as the people are still benefiting from that masjid, you will keep on receiving your reward in your grave. Now, the knowledge that was learnt or was taught inside that masjid, and it was spread, for as long as it is still beneficial, you are in your grave, so the nur increases, the nur increases, the nur increases, until inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise you on the day of Qiyamah, from your grave full of nur. Your face will be full of nur. Why? Because you supported a masjid, you built a masjid, the masjid that you supported or you built. So much is of Islamic activities took place in that masjid, and all of the rewards, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you. You come Qiyamah, you are full of nur. Allahu Akbar. You enter into Jannah and you find your house which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for you. Why? Because you have built a masjid in the dunya. Man bana lillahi masjidan, bana Allahu lahu baytan fil Jannah. The person who builds a house or a masjid for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya, in akhirah, in Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will prepare a house for him in Jannah. وَوَلَدًا صَالِحًا تَرَكَهُ. Now, and some of the sadaqatun jariyah or continuous reward that the person will find in his grave will be waladun salih. If you leave behind a pious child who will make dua for you, who will keep on doing good. Now, you taught him to give sadaqah, he will carry on giving sadaqah. You are supporting a masjid, and he used to see the father supporting a certain masjid. So after the death of his father, then he will still carry on supporting that masjid. I know of a youngster. Now, I know of a youngster. His father used to support a Nur Educational Center's orphanage. Allahu Akbar. So his father passed away, rahimahullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill his qabr with nur and grant him high status in Jannah. Now, so the son, he was the one who used to sometimes bring the father to the orphanage. And the father would spend, 2 hours, 3 hours with the kids at the orphanage. He would bring them gifts, Now that the father has passed away, he is carrying on doing what the father used to do. Allahu Akbar. Now, so وَوَلَدًا صَالِحًا يَدْعُو لَهُ, to leave behind a legacy, to leave a pious child or pious children who are going to make dua for you, who are going to carry on with the legacy which you have started. Now, so that is something that will be a means of you having continuous rewards in your qabr, in your grave. Nur will come into your grave. As I said in the beginning, that the grave is dark. There is no light except the light of good deeds, the light of Iman that we will take with into that grave of ours. Now, أو ومصحفا ورثه, if you have donated masahif, copies of the Holy Quran into different masajid. Imagine somebody has built a masjid and you came with boxes of mushafs, copies of the Holy Quran, and you donated. So someone will come and recite from those copies of the Holy Quran. Someone will memorize a surah. Someone will memorize a verse. Someone will memorize a chapter of the holy book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, you are now in your grave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on giving you the rewards. Now, so this is something that we should feel encouraged to do. We should do this, to buy a copy of the Quran and you leave it in a masjid. You donate it to a child that you know that he's becoming a hafiz al-Quran. You say, you know what, my child, this copy of the Quran is for you. You must use it. For as long as the child recites or uses that copy of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you rewards. He will bless you. He will shower His mercy upon you while you're still alive and also after death. Now, you are now gone. You are in your grave for years and years. People have forgotten about you, but you're still gaining rewards because you have donated a copy of the Quran into a certain masjid, and somebody has used that Quran to become a hafiz al-Quran, to become a mufassir. So now he went outside there and he spread that knowledge. And those students, they also spread the knowledge. They practice and they spread the knowledge. So it is a chain of goodness until Qiyamah. So you in your grave, you still reaping the rewards. So you find your continuous reward in your grave, and the nur will come inshallah into your grave. Now, أو مسجدا بناه, in some of the rewards that will become sadaqatan jariyah for you is to build a masjid, to build a masjid. For as long as the masjid is still standing and the people are taking benefit from that masjid, wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on granting you rewards in your grave, and nur will increase in your grave. And how much of activities take place in a masjid? A lot of activities take place in a masjid. You know, khutbah of Jummah takes place in a masjid. You know, advices are given in a masjid. Da'wah is given in a masjid. Allahu Akbar. People are taking shahada, coming to the masjid and taking shahada, the oneness of Allah, and they become Muslim, and from there, they learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they practice the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they take the deen back to their families, and they spread the deen to the four corners of the world. And who's benefiting? You, because you are the one who built the masjid, and you are the one who supported the masjid. Now you are in your grave, you keep on getting the rewards. Allahu Akbar. Multiple of rewards until Qiyamah. Comes Qiyamah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will host you in Jannah. Now, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوهَا وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا وَقَالَ لَهُمْ خَزَنَتُهَا سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ طِبْتُمْ فَادْخُلُوهَا خَالِدِينَ. Allahu Akbar. Those people who are conscious about Allah. وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ. Those people who were conscious, who had taqwa about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Comes Qiyamah, they will be driven in groups into Jannah. And when they come to the gates of Jannah, the security guard, the angel, will open the gate of Jannah. Nam futihat abwabuha wa futihat abwabuha. The gates of Jannah will be opened. Wa qala lahum khazanatuha. And the security guard of Jannah will say to you, you who supported the masjid, you who built the masjid, you who have donated a Quran to the masjid, you who have looked after the muazzin, who have paid the salary of the imam, the gates of Jannah will be opened for you. The angel will say to you, Salamun alaykum. Peace be upon you. Tibtum, you have done well in the dunya. You have supported one of the best houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the dunya. Enter into Jannah. فَادْخُلُوهَا خَالِدِينَ. Enter into Jannah and stay there forever and ever. You will see malaika in Jannah. And of course, you'll find your house, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for you in Jannah. Now, Allahu Akbar. Aw masjidan banahu. My dear brothers and sisters, each and every day we get up, we see the sun rising. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us opportunities to do good. He's giving us lots of opportunities to do good. Now, let us use this opportunity to our advantage, and we must invest in akhirah, in the bank of akhirah, so that on the day of Qiyamah, when we come, inshallah, we'll find lots of rewards, inshallah, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy with us, and He will enter us into Jannah, where we will stay forever and ever. My dear brothers and sisters, we come to the end of our program, inshallah. Until we meet again, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.